Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 20 of how to create an endless runner using Unity and C#. Sorry that this video is a little bit late. I went on a camping trip and have recently started back at uni. I've just come back from the holiday break, that is. So I've just been getting caught up with all of that. But I'm back, and today we're going to be going over character animations. So to begin with, we're just going to go to Piskel. And we're just going to start. Although before we do that, we might just want to have a quick look at a reference picture. If you haven't done much animation before, which I'm pretty new to animation, I've been working on a project which is pretty heavily reliant on it, so I've had to do a fair bit of it recently. But it'd probably be a good idea to have a look at something like this, which is just a reference of a run animation, and it just has the contact, which is the foot hitting the ground, the down, which is the down motion when you're getting ready for your passing, which it's not labeled there, but that's just called the passing. And then you've got another passing. You can name these all different. You don't really need both of them. And then you come to your up, and then this one can be called your peak because you're off the ground completely, and then you're back to your other contact, which is how you started off, but this time you're on the other leg. But yeah, so that's the basics of a run animation. It doesn't need to be that complex, and we're probably not going to do one that in depth, but it's a good thing just to look at before you really do any more in this video. But yeah, so let's get started with the actual animation. To begin with, we're just going to do a stick figure animation, and then we'll, just to get all of the movement right, and then we'll come in and start actually working on our character. So we know that with the scale of our game and the scale of our player, we're probably going to want to make our player a tiny bit bigger than he was, or maybe keep him the same. So we're probably going to work around like this height here, something like that. So we'll just get started. So the first one, like I showed you, was the contact. So we're just going to put in player's back. We'll give him a head. Pretty big head, but it will do for now. So the contact has, like I said, it's just going to be a stick figure, so it doesn't need to be perfect for now. Just trying to get all these scales right. Might move his head down a little bit. Yeah, so on the contact, we might come fix this stuff up, but we'll just get started. He has his first leg going out, he has his back leg going up, and one arm will be coming down. And yeah, like I said, we'll come back and fix all this up. Other arm will be like that. I'm going to move the head before we go any further, just so it's not harder. So I'm just going to cut it with this tool, and then you can move it around and put it back. And then I think we'll just have that for this frame. I might make it so he's actually on the ground. Center him up a little bit. But yeah, we can start a new frame. We'll make our next frame based off our first frame. And in this frame, we're just going to want to drop the character down a little bit. So we can just come in and drop him down a frame. Yep, just a frame. And then we'll get rid of this leg. And then put it back with more of a bend in it. That's sticking out way too far, so I'm just going to cut it and pull it in. I might bring this back leg in a little bit. This part, you need to just play around with it and just find what works well, what you like. It might be a little bit finicky and take a little bit of time, but it is worth it. So we're just going to bring this leg down more. not like that. Yeah, that looks ridiculous for now, but we'll keep it like that for now, and we'll touch it up in a bit. We'll play around with that arm a bit, so we'll just have him drop this a little bit. And this back arm, we'll just have him do the same. And then we'll add another frame. And then this is going to be our in-between, or our passing, our first part of our passing. So in this frame, we will keep him at this height. We could lift him up a little bit, but because it's a pixel art thing, we won't. But we're just going to bring this leg in more. And then this leg, actually we'll bring it back in a little bit more than that. Then this leg is now going to be in front of this one a bit. We'll drop this arm down more. We'll bring this arm in a bit. And then we'll add our next frame. So on this frame, we're going to want to lift our character up again because he's going to be stepping up out of the step now. Because as you can see here, he was stepping into it, he's come down, he's coming across with his step, and now he's going to be coming out of it. So in here, we're going to want to make it so that one leg is going back. And we'll just get rid of these other two legs for now. Keep him just with that little bit of thickness because we're going to need that later on anyway. And then the other leg is now, whoops, doing something like this. And the longer you do this, the better you'll get at it. I'm still not the best at it, but I'm definitely good enough to show you guys the basics. So now if we have a look up here, we have something that looks a little bit more like a run, but it's obviously still not perfect. We still need to fix up these arms a little bit, so we're going to bring this one in, because we've made our body thicker. Let's just go back to there quickly. We'll just bring this arm in a little bit like this instead. And then the back arm is now going to be like coming up here. And then we'll add our new frame. So on this frame, we're going to lift him up a little bit more. And then we're just going to make it so that this back leg is bent up a little bit, but actually, get rid of that leg from no. So this might be a little bit of a long episode, but we are doing our animations, so that is kind of to be expected. This is the frame where he's like completely up in the air. And yeah, if you have a look up here, we're getting a lot better animation now. It's actually looking pretty good. One thing, we'll keep it like that just for now, and we might play around with it a little bit and try to just get a little of the basics down a bit more. But if you just have a look here, and we just turn down frame rate, maybe to something like that, you can see that the animation is starting to come along pretty well. So we'll try and bulk this out a little bit and get it a little bit better, and then we'll use these frames to create our other frames before we go any further. So let's get started with that. Okay, so we'll just come back to our first frame, and we'll just have a look at these frames quickly and see how we thickened it up a bit. We might want to just come through and do that in these frames. Obviously not like that. That looks really weird because I had to put it on the outside. Did I? Yeah, and then thicken this? I don't know. We'll have a look. Wait, he drops down in that frame, so that... But he's got his arm there, so that works. And dun, dun, dun. Cool. Okay, so now we'll come back up to our first frame, and we need to start working out what we want our character to look like. This whole time I've been imagining him with a jetpack, and that's why his jump is kind of like that, and that was my kind of reasoning behind the double jump. So he's going to have a jetpack, and we're obviously going to need an animation for whenever he's doing his jetpack pulses. And we'll probably need a separate animation for when he's landing, just because we have a kind of variance in the jump height, depending... Actually, I'll have to have a look at how we coded it again. I haven't looked at that stuff in a little bit. But once we get to that stuff, we'll decide all that. But we might need to do a separate animation for when he's landing, or we might be able to make the landing animation the same as the taking off animation. But we'll have to be checking for a double jump, so yeah, we'll have to think about how we're going to structure all that. But that'll make a little bit more sense probably in the next video once we get into the Unity animator. And that's how we're going to tie all of our animations together and make it so our character can seamlessly transition between all of the different animations. But yeah, back to what we were doing. Let's work out what he's going to look like. So I'm really bad at finding a skin color normally, and that looks pretty bad. We'll just use this, but he's incredibly white. Should he be wearing a shirt or a long sleeve shirt? We'll work that out later. Should he be wearing shorts? That's another question. Yeah, all of this stuff can take a while, seeing like you're kind of stuck with it unless you want to go and do all of your animations again. So it's best to get it done like, properly the first time. But yeah, we're just going to have to play around with this. I'm not actually all that happy with that. That looks better. I'm happy with that. Kinda. His leg's too long there, I believe. His leg's just like, whoop, I'm gonna stretch out in front of me. Yeah, because see, like if you have a look up here, there's not much movement in this part of his leg. So O for color picker, and we'll move that over there, and we'll go like that, and then we'll color pick that, and we'll go like that, and we'll go like that, and then we'll color pick that, and put that there, and get rid of that. And that looks slightly better, but still not perfect. Yeah, I like that more, so we'll just use that. We don't want to change it too much when we have the different colors in here in comparison to every other frame, because it makes it a little bit misleading up here. But we'll just keep continuing. To begin with, I'm just going to chuck in some colors, and then we'll work out all the shape and the actual colors in a little bit. But all of these colors are just going to make it a little bit easier for me to imagine, and just to kind of work out where everything is. We forgot to do his head. Whoa. I guess we'll give him a green shirt. No, I want a green shirt. We need a color pick. Fail. Okay. Color pick, then replace it. Cool. We probably don't want his head to be like that, unless we give him some hair like that, but then that looks silly. That looks silly as well. Okay, we're gonna have to work out the hair. Okay, we'll just do that for the hair, I guess. We'll give him... Ah! No chin. We'll give him an eye. And he kind of looks creepy right now, but he's coming along. We didn't want to get rid of that color. Probably be a lot easier to use the fill tool, but you know. Whoa, his neck's doing some weird stuff there. His arm. Let's chuck a jetpack on him to see how big he needs to be, like how thick. I kind of like making my characters kind of slender. It's just like an art style thing. But, I don't know. I just kind of like the look of it. Kind of like sword and sorcery kind of thing. So jetpack. What is his jetpack gonna look like? Is it gonna sit back, like off his back a little bit? It obviously needs to kind of read as a jetpack and not a backpack as well. See, this is the kind of stuff that might be a little bit tricky to work out, but I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this yet either. Maybe I've been doing heaps of fast forwards and stuff. Maybe I haven't. Who knows? See, that color kind of makes it seem like a backpack, so I think I'm going to go for a dark color as well. And then I think I'm going to make his hair a brown. Okay, so we're starting to get a little bit of a character. Still want to show that this is a jetpack more. So, tricky thing about pixels is trying to get all of the information that you want in that small little space. But we're getting there. The flame is obviously going to help sell that it's a jetpack, but I want it to be obvious before that. So I'm just going to chuck a flame in there. It's not going to be there, but I don't think we need to play around with it and see what works. Saying we're designing our character in our animation phase. This is just how we're going to have to do it. Maybe we should have our flame come out away from him a little bit, but maybe that's a little too big. Just put some color in there. Wrong color! Yeah, bigger flame. Starting to come along. Do we want his pants to be a bit... I might move his head back a little bit now I think about it. Although, if we do this, we do have to do it in every frame, so let's just see what it looks like. Oh, he has no neck! Yeah, we'll put it back here. Then we'll cut it again. put it up there. Oh no, accidentally deleted it. Control Z, go back, and give him a neck. Neck was a mistake. So I'm just going to drop that head down. And yeah, I'm happy with it like that. He obviously needs some shoes, because you don't want to be using a jetpack barefoot. It would be crazy. So we'll grab that. Not that tool. We want this tool. Give him some shoes. Let's get some stylish footwear. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. At least I'm happy with it for now. Whoops. I keep pressing I instead of O. O is to select a different color. And then P is to go back to your brush. You're wondering. Okay, now he has a hunchback. That was a mistake. Okay, and now we have to draw this for every single frame. So that'll be fun. I might do this part in fast forward, and then we'll have a look at what this character looks like when he's running, and then we might have to go through and make some tweaks. But I think we're coming along pretty well. Okay, so now we have all of our colors, and we have our character drawn over the top of our stick animation. As you can see, at the end of that little bit, I made a few little tweaks to the arms. I still need to do a little bit more, because as you can see, he's doing a little bit of a flicky thing. Okay, so I had to come back and record this bit, because the video went on a little bit long. So at this point, we're going to split it into two parts, but I'm going to upload one after the other, so now you can just click on to part 2 if you are ready to do that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe before you go and watch part 2. It helps me a lot. And leave me any feedback if you have any to give. But yeah, thank you for watching. Enjoy.